Greetings, friends. This is Balakrishna again from BALAS Accountancy Special Classes. Well, today I am taking up the operation of suspense account under the single-sided arrays. Suspense account under the single-sided arrays. After basic discussion in this respect, I shall work out for you in this episode one sum exclusively of single-sided arrays and another one of mixed type, that is single-sided as well as double-sided arrays. Thank you. In spite of the best effort, if the trial balance still does not tally or arithmetical disagreement is there in the debit side as compared to the credit side or vice versa, a recourse is made to open a suspense account or to bring a suspense account in the books of account and have the trial balance temporarily tallied. So, suspense account is open for tallying the trial balance temporarily. It's a temporary measure only for the purpose of reconciling the trial balance. Suspense account is inserted in the trial balance suitably so that both sides of the trial balance get tallied. For example, let's see, case A. In the trial balance, the total amount in the credit side is 1 lakh, whereas in spite of the best effort, the debit side is only 90,000. Obviously, there is a 10,000 rupees difference in the trial balance. So, what the accountant will do is that he will show this 10,000 against a suspense account in the debit side and have it tallied. Okay. And now, let's see how this 10,000 will move to a suspense account. Suspense account debtor to difference in trial balance 10,000 in the same side it will come because it was a debit balance. Okay. Now let's take case B. Trial balance total in the debit side, let's see 1,25,000, whereas in the credit side it is 1 lakh only. Obviously, there's a difference of 25,000. That 25,000 will be managed by putting a suspense account in the credit side and make the trial balance temporarily agree 1,25,000 each. Obviously, the suspense account concerned will be by difference in trial balance in the credit side. Okay, a suspense account will get opened by difference in trial balance 25,000 in the credit side. Now let us take up disposal of suspense account. What do you mean by disposal of suspense account? It is nothing but making the balance in the suspense account zero, or in other words, eliminating the suspense account from the books of account itself. Well, suspense account is just an imaginary account. Only single-sided arrays led to the opening of a suspense account. For rectifying exclusively the double-sided arrays, suspense account does not come to the picture at all. I have sufficiently explained the factor in my previous episodes. Assignment, a single-sided array is located subsequent to the opening of a suspense account. When do you open the suspense account? Because in spite of our best effort, we could not tally the trial balance. Hence, as just explained above, a suspense account was inserted in a trial balance, or in other ways, a suspense account was opened. Now, subsequent to the opening of such a suspense account, for rectifying purpose, a journal entry has to be essentially made, or subsequently you have located the mistake, and for rectifying such mistakes, essentially it has to be done through a journal entry, not in the way what I explained in my last episode by showing a line, an explanation line or something like that. No, a proper journal entry you have to make here. And one aspect of the journal entry, either debit aspect or credit aspect, depending on the case, will be a suspense account. Okay. It may be suspense account debtor to furniture, or sales account debtor to suspense account, or similarly like that. So one aspect of the journal entry has to be either debit aspect or credit aspect has to be a suspense account. This when all arrays are located and rectified, the suspense account will automatically stand closed. This will be pretty clear to you as and when I do two full-fledged sums as I already explained. Thank you. Well, students, the first question is question number 27, page 1947, edition 2017, CBSE of D.K. Goyal. Well, it's as follows. A trial balance showed excess credit of rupees 2,728, which were placed in a suspense account. Later on, the following arrays were located. Was rectifying entries and prepare suspense account. Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items with the answer tips as suspense account tallies. Total of both sides of suspense account is rupees 4,878. Well, I have to arrive at the answer hints and also convince you each and every item how it happened. So those of you who do not have this question, kindly take it down, make it readily available so that when I will be explaining my answer, you will be very comfortable. Item number 1, rupees 825, the total of purchase return book has been posted to the debit of sales return book. Well, the answer is suspense account debtor 1,650 to sales return account 825 to purchase return account 825. Explanation is like this. Purchase return account is opposite of purchase account. So it needs to be essentially credited. Whereas by mistake, you have operated sales return account. That is by default a debit account. So to nullify that sales return account unnecessarily operated, you need to credit it to sales return account. And the proper purchase return account of 825, we need to bring to the picture. Okay. And since it is a post mistake only, means the party has been obviously taken care of. They are not told us that party's account has been wrongly operated. Okay. Only posting in respect of the return books only mistakes have been made. So that only we need to rectify. Obviously, it will be a suspense account. The sum of this will be the suspense account amount. And we will show the narration. Single-sided error. Purchase return ending a credit. Sales return strongly debited, now rectified. Item number 2. Goods purchased from Suresh, rupees 1,800, recorded in sales book as rupees 1,800. So this is a question of entering in the wrong day book and also with a different amount. It's basically a double-sided error that I'm going to explain. By the way, I told that this particular question will be full of single-sided error, but one or two double-sided errors are crept in. Kindly excuse me. Well, this is a double-sided error. Why it is a double-sided error, I am going to explain to you. Correct entry is purchase account debtor 1,800 to Suresh account 1,800. You know that a credit purchase entry will be this range. This is the proper amount also. Whereas having entered it in the sales day book, the entry will be Suresh account debtor 180 to sales account 180. This is not a posting mistake. Very original day book itself, entry has gone wrong. So it's a double-sided error. Now, rectification in a systematic way. Purchase account has to be essentially debited with 1,800. Let us debit it. Sales account has been unnecessarily credited with 180. Let us debit it and nullify. Suresh account needs a basic credit of 1,800 plus another credit to nullify a wrong debit of 180. So 1,800 plus 180, 1,980. And the narration will be credit purchase wrongly recorded in the sales day book and also with a wrong amount. Well, item number 3. An item of rupees 328 written off as bad debt from Ajay Sharma has not been debited to bad debts account. That means it is very much a single-sided error because only bad debts account action is pending. But what would have been the proper entry? Proper entry would have been bad debts to Ajay Sharma. Ajay Sharma, it is obviously, it has been properly dealt in. He has been credited. What they say specifically is that it has not been debited to bad debts account. So bad debt is to be essentially debited. So bad debts account debtor 328. And since it is a single set error, we have to credit to suspense account. Only sundry debtors account has been duly credited, single set error. Next one, goods purchased from X rupees 3,500 and from Y rupees 4,000. But were recorded in the purchase book as X 4,000 and Y 3,500. We can easily make out it is nothing but amount interchanged between the parties. Okay. And overall amount is same only. 3,500 plus 4,000, 7,500. And 4,000 plus 3,500 is also 7,500. Hence, the rectification will be X account debtor 500 to Y account 500. Reason is 500 each. X credited excessively and Y short credited. That's all. This is not clear. See, purchase means party has to be credited. X should have been credited with 3,500 only, whereas he has been credited with 4,000. Hence, a debit entry against his name. Similarly, Y, he should have got a credit of 4,000, whereas he has got a credit of 3,500 only. Hence, he needs a further credit of rupees 500. Okay. So this is a perfectly double sided error, and the suspense account doesn't have a scope here. Next one. Goods returned to Ramesh for rupees 2,600 was correctly recorded in the return outward book, but was wrongly posted to his account as rupees 260. We know that when purchased goods are returned, it is entered in the day book called purchase return book or return outward book. The entry has been made properly there. Okay. But however, while posting to the debit of Mr. Ramesh, instead of 2,600, 260 was only made. So a difference of 2,340 is there. He needs to be further debited with 2,340. And it is obviously a single-sided error because purchase account has been properly accounted. The day book entry is proper, only posting mistake. Hence, suspense account comes to the picture very much. So the answer is Ramesh account debtor 2,340 to suspense account 2,340. Return outwards Ramesh short debited, now rectified. Next one. A sum of rupees 2,210 stolen by an ex-employee stand debited to suspense account. Rectification entry that lost by theft account debtor 2,210 to suspense account 2,210. Let me explain the kahani behind it. It is like that. One day so happened, an ex-employee stole rupees 2,210 from the office. They wanted to chase him and get it. Till then, they kept it in suspense account. So in the cash book, suspense account was debited, or in other words, by suspense account, an entry was shown in the payment side of the cash book. Now that they have failed in their attempt to have the money recovered, hence it has been debited to the appropriate nominal account. Loss by theft account, debit 2,210 to suspense account credit. Okay, hence the suspense account which had been already debited got cancelled, right? Yes. The nearest will be cash stolen by ex-employee kept temporarily debited to suspense account, now shifted to loss by theft account. Seventh and the last one. A sum of rupees 500 written off as depreciation on machinery were not posted to machinery account. It is clearly a case of single-sided error because depreciation is written off, debiting the depreciation account and crediting the concerned asset account. So here the proper entry should have been depreciation account at 500 to machinery account 500. Depreciation, they say, okay, it is implied, it has been properly debited, whereas machinery needs a credit. So single-sided error. Suspense account debtor rupees 500 to machinery account 500. All depreciation account debited, machinery account not credited correspondingly, now rectified. Well, students, now let me explain how these entries are moved to the suspense account. First one, suspense account debtor 1,650. Well, that is debited 1,050 and credited to two different account of 825 each. Well, that is shown here. Suspense account debtor to sales return account 825, to purchase return account 825. And this balance, of course, it has been given at the initial stage of the sum itself. The sum itself saying that a trial balance showed excess credit of rupees 2,728, which were placed in the suspense account. Later on, the following arrays were located. One showed excess credit of rupees 2,728. Now, please be careful. When the credit side of the trial balance was more, naturally, the suspense account had to be placed in the debit side to make the trial balance tally. So, hence, suspense account was a debit balance. Hence, difference in trial balance in the debit side of suspense account. Okay. Fine. Let's just pick up one by one other suspense account. This is not there. Yes. Suspense account, there is a credit of 328. Bad debt to suspense account. Obviously, we will show suspense account by bad debt 328. And the next one, a double-sided error, nothing to do with the suspense account. Fifth one, remains to suspense account 2,340. That means suspense account by remains 2,340. X account debtor to Y is nothing but Y by X, very basic rule of posting. Okay, fine. And next one, loss by theft account 2,210 to suspense account 2,210. Naturally, suspense account is credited by loss by theft account 2,210. If you balance the account, we find both the sides are automatically tallied, no balance left. That's why the author also has told us. Okay, I hope I have explained to each and every entry to your satisfaction. Now let us take up the next sum. Well, students, let us take up next question number 30, page 19.48. Well, it's as follows. A bookkeeper finds that the totals of his trial balance disagree by rupees 2,800. He temporarily debits the suspense account with this amount and closes the books. On an examination of the books, the following errors are discovered. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm sure you'll be storing the question so that you'll find it quite comfortable when I explain the answer. Now, the answer hint is that all arrays have not been discovered, as suspense account still shows a debit balance of rupees 310. That's a peculiarity of the sum. That means there are still undetected error or errors. Our answer should ensure that The suspense account is having a balance of rupees 310. Well, I'm explaining you one by one. Number one, the total of purchase return book rupees 710 was posted twice. That means it's a question of posting only, an extra posting. Obviously, a single-sided error. You know that purchase return book means it's a basically a credit account. So you have extra credited purchase return account. Now you have to essentially debit it to nullify that extra credit. And it being a single-sided error, obviously the credit aspect or the other aspect will be suspense account. Hence, purchase return account debtor 710 to suspense account 710. Purchase return account credited twice, now rectified. Next one. Goods costing rupees 800 were distributed as free samples, but no entry was passed in the books. Well, all what we are expected is to just pass the proper journal entry because the very entry itself is missing. The journal entry will be advertisement account debtor 800 to purchase account rupees 800. Advertisement, of course, you will easily agree that because it's a free samples. Purchase account, why it has been credited is, of course, I have mentioned in my previous episodes that if the purchased goods are utilized for any purpose other than sales, or in other words, if the purchased goods have been diverted for any purpose other than sales means the very purchase account, which was originally a debit, has to be credited now. Then only we will arrive at the proper cost of purchase to be compared with the sales value in our trading account so that we arrive at the accurate gross profit. Thank you. Next one. Purchase of machinery for rupees 5,600 on credit was recorded in purchase book as rupees 6,500. Well, first of all, any machinery purchase is an asset purchase and it doesn't have a place in the purchase book. So you have unnecessarily entered in the purchase book means the rectification will be purchase account debtor to supplier account 6,500. Okay. This is the amount you have entered in your purchase day book. Well, the correct entry would have been machinery account, but the value differs. The proper amount was 5,600. So machinery account debtor 5,600 to supplier account 5,600. So we have to rectify this. How to have it rectified? Machinery account has to be essentially debited. So machinery account is debited 5,600. Purchase account needs to be credited to the extent of 6,500 since it was wrongly debited. Yes, that also we have done. And supplier has been credited with 6,500 instead of 5,600. That means an excess credit of 900. How to nullify debit to that extent? So supplier account debit 900. The full journal entry is that supplier account debtor 900, machinery account debtor 5,600, to purchase account 6,500. Machinery purchase wrongly ended in the purchase day book corrected. Next one. Cash sales to Ramlal for rupees 1,200 were recorded in cash book as well as in sales book and were posted from both. Well, cash sales recorded in cash book is fine. Mistake is that unnecessarily it has been entered in the day book, sales day book also. When you make an entry in the day book means party will be or customer will be debited and sales will be credited. So here Ram LAL has been debited and sales has been credited. That is a wrong entry, an unrequired entry. So have it reversed. Sales account debtor to customer. I have written here customer only. Okay, I'm changing it to the party's name itself since we have been given the name Ram Lal. Account. Okay, I'm sorry. So the entry will be sales account debtor to Ramlal account. Cash sales wrongly entered also in the sales day book rectified. Next one. Closed stock has been overvalued by rupees 1,500. Well, students, opening stock, closing stock, extra are shown in the trading account. Final account I have not taken up with you. When I'll be taking up the final accounts with you, you will learn how entries are reflected in a trading account. For the time, just keep it in mind. Closing stock is credited to a trading account. Or in other words, closing stock account debtor to trading account. Now that 1,500 an amount is excessively shown, or the closing stock account debtor to trading account, what we have shown includes 1,500 excess. So reverse it to that extent. Trading account debtor 1,500 to closing stock 1,500. Overvaluation of stock corrected. Next one. Sales return book was untotaled. So personal accounts were posted rupees 1,058. Well, students, you should know that when entries are made in a sales return book, or for that matter, any day book, the day book will be totaled, and the total will be suitably debited or credited, and the party also will be suitably credited or debited. Here, sales return book was untotaled means the sales return account remains not debited. The normal journal entry would have been sales return account debtor to party. Party has been taken care of, whereas sales return account remain unposted. So it is very much a single-sided error. And I have told you, single-sided error means one aspect has to be suspense account. And here the debit has to be essentially sales return account. Hence, the proper journal entry will be sales return account debtor 1,580 to suspense account 1,580. Sales return account not debited, now rectified. Next one. No entries have been made in the cash book for the insurance premium directly paid by bank rupees 700 and interest charge on overdraft rupees 320. Obviously, these items have surfaced during the course of a bank reconciliation statement. So there is no rectification as such. All what we need to do is that we need to just account it. That itself is a rectification. So debit the expenditures, credit the giver, that is banker. So insurance account, debtor 700. Interest account debtor 320. To bank 1,020. Insurance premium directly paid by the bank and interest on overdraft account debt. And the next one. A sum of rupees 200 for drawings on the credit side of cash book was not posted to the drawings account. Please note it, not posted. Obviously, a single-sided error. Item has been properly entered in the cash books. The credit side of cash book. When we make drawings, means drawings account debtor to cash or bank. So cash or bank has been suitably taken care of. Whereas drawings is pending to be posted. Drawings account has not been debited. And we know that we are doing this rectification having already opened a suspense account. and any single-sided error subsequent to the opening of suspense account, a journal entry is required, and one of the aspects of the journal entry has to be essentially suspense account. Here, drawings is mandatorily to be debited, debit expenditure pending. So obviously, credit has to be suspense account. So drawings account debtor to suspense account. Well, students, we need to prepare now the suspense account ledger. How to prepare it? Just place the journal entries wherever suspense account is involved in the ledger. That's all. First one, purchase return account to suspense account. Naturally, suspense account is credited by purchase return. It is 710 rupees. Next one, sales return account 1580 to suspense account. Similarly, buy sales return account 1580. Next one, drawings account debtor to suspense account. That also similarly by drawings account 200. And we have been categorically given in the sum, there was an opening debit suspense account balance 2800 that I sufficiently explained to you. Okay. And if you balance this account, we'll have a closing balance of 310. That is the answer. It means that there are still some error or errors not rectified. Okay, doesn't matter. What we need to arrive at is this balance that we have arrived at. Thank you. Well, students, that's all for the time being today. The main object of this episode was to bring to your attention that any single-sided error is rectified through a journal entry, provided the suspense account is already opened. When the suspense account gets opened, in spite of the best effort, if we are not able to tally a trial balance, means the difference will be put in the suspense account. Already explained to you. And we'll come back to our work, scrutinize each and every transaction. And during this course, if you find that, yes, single-sided error has been located. So rectification of the same has to be essentially through a journal entry. And one of the aspects of such journal entry has to be necessarily suspense account. Okay. Thank you. Take care. See you.